And welcome to Seven Questions With, of course, brought to you as always by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. The good looking guy on the screen today, Seven Questions with Frankie Edgar. And I will introduce him by saying, well, if you know anything about UFC, you know him, but you also know him as a Toms River guy who has stayed very true to his town. He's a Toms River East graduate. He has really never left. And I say the similarities between him and Todd Frazier is pretty amazing. And they are friends in that they both believe in the community they grew up in and stay here. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But Frankie, as I thank you, first of all, for your willingness to do this. I would be remiss. I always like to talk about good things, and we'll get to that. But I would be remiss in, asking you after your last fight, how you're doing. You got nailed by one of the vicious flying knee from your opponent, Corey Sandhagen, and the fight was over in the first round in Las Vegas. So how are you doing, and how quickly did it take you to kind of recover from that?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty good right away. Obviously the fight didn't go as planned. I really didn't feel like I got to showcase anything I worked on the whole camp. It was a very quick fight. And, that's the way it goes sometimes. And, I bounced back. I was a little concussed, I guess you could say, afterwards. But, my body felt really good. I didn't fight very long. So, other than having a headache, I bounced back rather quickly.
Obviously, he's a skilled fighter, but do you put it into the category, and you've been on the other end, sometimes you just hit with a lucky punch. It just happens to get you at that moment.
Yeah, I never believe in lucky anything. He meant to throw it and he landed it, and that's the way it went. But it's just a little unfortunate that I didn't get the fight didn't really get to pan out in my eyes.
So the fight was in Vegas. I'm going to guess your wife Renee and two sons were at home in Toms River. I don't know if I'm right about that. And I'm sure when they saw it, they were scared as well. So how quick were you able to get to a phone and tell them, hey, I'm okay?
Yeah, well, they were actually in Vegas watching at a hotel.
Oh, okay.
My two sons and my daughter, and they were with, a couple of my buddies and everything. So they were on the phone with my coaches right away. So, once I actually didn't have a phone with me until I got back to the car. So I didn't get to talk to her for a while. My teammates all talked to her, told them I was good, and get the worrying out of the way, I guess.
I guess it comes with the territory, but I'm sure every time you go in the cage, your wife is very nervous.
Yeah, definitely a lot of nervous, and she never shows it to me until after. Then I get a little bit of the attitude afterwards for having to put her through all that.
You have had this iconic career. I mean, you obviously are going to be a Hall of Famer. 14 years in UFC. You've been a lightweight champion. You've dropped down to a couple of other weight classes. You are 39 years old. So the obvious question is, what is the fighting future of Frankie Edgar?
Yeah, I never really put a date on anything. I'm going to get back in there and, want to let my body heal up. I got a couple injuries I'm going to deal with here in the next couple months that I've been, dealing with, for a while now that I'm going to get taken care of. And, I'll get back in there and we'll kind of see how that goes the next one.
You have mentioned you're a family guy. I mean, you have your wife, your two sons, and a daughter. So how much of what you do for your career is a family decision, or does they just kind of leave it on your shoulders to make the choice?
No, I've been with my wife for a very long time. We were actually in the same kindergarten class. We started dating when we were 19. So she's definitely a big part of any decision I make in my life. And, I always bounce stuff off of her and my team as well.
So much like Todd Frazier, you're beloved not only in Toms River, but really across the U.S. as someone who represents the very best of his sport. In the cage, you are an absolute warrior. Everyone knows that. But outside, you have this huge heart and persona. I mean, I'm looking at you. You're a sweet guy. So what drives you to be, Frankie Edgar, the family guy, the guy that cares about his community and cares about children?
I'm just being myself. I'm not really trying to portray anything. I always want to be a good role model for my own kids. I don't necessarily try to be a good role model for other people's kids, but I know if I'm being a positive influence on my kids, I'm most likely going to be a positive influence on other kids. And, I just try to always just be respectful, always do the right things.
Yeah, I mean, you've been involved in many charitable efforts. You've supported the Toms River Police Department. You were involved in the Pros versus Heroes game. I mean, you're kind of a fixture in the community. And the latest thing you've sort of, at the very least, lent your name to and support of, is through your longtime coach, Steve Rivera. You've connected with a guy named Vinny Brunetti, who I've known since Superstorm Sandy, and he has founded a charitable endeavor called NJ4, the number 4 NJ. And much like the Barstool Fund, which I'm sure people are somewhat aware of, the goal is to help small businesses through the pandemic. But in this case, it's all New Jersey. It's New Jersey small companies. So why have you sort of gotten behind this?
Well, I have a lot of friends and family that own small businesses in New Jersey, and obviously with this pandemic and the climate of today's, just everything going on is, it's good to really, a lot of people are hurting, and I'm a Jersey guy, always repping Jersey, always repping Tom's River as much as I can. And when I got linked up with Vinny through Steve, I thought it was a no-brainer to help him in his cause. He's doing really good things for small businesses around our state, and anytime we can help people that are struggling, I'm always down for that.
And listen, you have to be careful because you have people come to you all the time. So if you're going to endorse something, you're going to believe in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I sat down with Vinny. I could tell he was coming from the right place, a good heart. He's a successful guy, and he's from New Jersey. He hasn't forgotten about it, and he wants to give back. And I thought we were be a good team in doing that.
And again, while you're watching this, if you own a small business, a New Jersey-based company, just go on the website, NJ4NJ.com. There's 2 components to it, just like the Barstool Fund. You can apply to get financial support from them, or if you want to donate to help other businesses, you can do that as well. And like Frankie, my credibility doesn't carry like his, but like Frankie, I think it's just a great thing. And if it helps businesses out, and we know there's still a ways to go on the business end, right, Frankie? You know, a lot of small business guys, things are getting better, but the end is not right around the corner.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think we're kind of still seeing the effects of these shutdowns and just the coronavirus across the country, and probably gonna be dealing with it for a while. So organizations like Vinny Brunetti's New Jersey for New Jersey is going to be very crucial in some of these businesses, moving forward.
You said you kind of take your career one fight at a time. You have no really retirement plans, but you're a young guy. So I'm wondering, and I would ask of any 39-year-old professional athlete, what you think your post-athletic career will be like. Like, where do you see you? I know you've done a little broadcasting, a little commentating on fights. What do you see Frankie Edgar's future?
I'll be in the sport in some way, shape, or form the rest of my life. Whether I own a gym or have a fight team or be in commentary. I also probably will dabble in, managing some other fighters as well. I think I kind of give a unique perspective. Manager that I work with, he has a pretty big stable, and there's a good chance that, I could work alongside him in the future as well.
All right, here's the last question. This is actually probably number 8, so I apologize in advance. Your 2 sons, I think they're 12 and 10 right now. They come to you 3, 4, 5 years from now and say, "Hey, this is what I want to do for a career." What do you say?
I may try to steer him in a different direction, being the father in me. But, I know if my father told me not to do this, I would have not listened to him. So I know if they're going to take it seriously and prepare the correct way, I'll support them 100%.
Well, your days wrestling for Warren Reed at Tom's of Reese have certainly helped you throughout your career. As I said, you are a true asset to Tom's River. We are very, very lucky to have you. And I know what you do for a living is a vicious, brutal sport. But then there's the other side of it. There's the husband, the dad, and the guy with a big heart. And you're lending that heart to NJ4NJ, among other things. Frankie Edgar, thanks for being part of 7 Questions. Look forward to watching you in the future, being on the other end of that vicious knee kick.
Yes, Kevin. Always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Thank you.
Frankie Edgar, 7 Questions with, brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.